New major developments tonight in the search for an accused killer and the veteran corrections officer accused of helping him get out of jail. U.S. Marshals confirm agents on both the Canadian and Mexican border were alerted to look out for capital murder suspect Casey White and a corrections officer who is now a wanted woman. Authorities issued a warrant for Vicky White's arrest for allegedly facilitating an escape.
She's the corrections officer who drove the accused killer from the Lauderdale County Detention Center under the pretense of taking him to court. They never arrived at the courthouse. Instead, they drove to a business parking lot 8 minutes away and apparently changed cars. Investigators say they believe the two had some sort of romantic relationship.
It's a case that shocked law enforcement, who are now working to try and track them down. WAAY 31's Nicole Zedek reports.
Vicky White spent more than a decade working at the Lauderdale County Detention Center. The sheriff says she's the last person you'd expect to commit a crime like this.
If you lined 10 of our corrections deputies up against the wall and said one of them was going to do this, she'd be number 10 on the list.
Even former inmates who had daily dealings with Vicky White are shocked.
When they took us to court, and like when Miss Vicky would come in and check on the females, and she was real. She was a real good woman. As far as I knew, she was real sweet. She was kind, but she did her job and she did it. She didn't cut corners. She didn't, but she was fair.
Current inmates are talking about this wild escape.
Inmates will tell you anything and everything.
The sheriff and his investigators are listening.
We don't put any confidence in what we hear from inmates. We don't ignore it. We do follow up on it, but they're in it for how it's going to help them, and so you take it with a grain of salt.
Sheriff Rick Singleton says White had been talking about her retirement for months. Friday, the day of the escape, was supposed to be her last day. She told coworkers she was planning to go to the beach after recently selling her house. This bizarre turn of events taking its toll on detention center staff.
It's very draining, especially for our corrections deputies. Vicky was part of their family, and they've taken this very hard.
Now a corrections officer considered family by her coworkers is a wanted criminal, and the U.S. Marshals Service worries she's with a desperate man on the run from a capital murder charge.
And we know in all probability that he has a weapon, so basically he has nothing to lose.
U.S. Marshal Marty Keeley says this case is a top priority. He says lots of resources are going into finding the corrections officer and the accused killer, but he would not talk about the specifics of that ongoing search. Reporting in studio, Nicole Zedek, WAAY 31 News.